G'day and welcome to another episode of Super Rugby Talk. As always, I'm Jase and joining me is PK. PK, how are you?
Yep. As always, Jace, a pleasure to be here, mate.
Cool. So tell all these people where they can find us. PK, social network and YouTube. What do you got?
Yep, YouTube, check us out at Super Rugby Talk Live.
Cool. Righto. As usual, we'll be carrying on with our series on the teams in the Super Rugby competition. Today we'll be talking about the Bulls, the Brumbies, and the Chiefs. Righto. First up, we've got the Bulls from Pretoria. They've been pretty consistent, except for last year. They came ninth. They've got a pretty good history, this team, though. Champions in 2007, 2009, 2010, and playoffs in 1996, 2005, 2006, 2012, and 2013. PK, how are the Bulls looking this year?
Yeah, hopefully they can build on from last year, Jace. I felt they were really unlucky last year. They just really didn't have much momentum. Yep, as you said, ninth overall, not very good there, but finishing second in the South African Conference, which would give them a little bit of a boost there. You kind of feel with the return of Victor Matfield halfway through that season there, really benefited them in the end.
Yeah, well, that's right. And you talk about hopefully they can have a better series this year. Have they got any notable transfers that could help them with that?
Um, well, you have the likes of Adrian Strauss and Trevor Inyankani coming into the side, so that'll bolster up the engine room there, Jace. You also have Lappies Labuschagne from the Cheetahs as well. They're in the flanks, but other than that, not many transfers going in, but you have a whole lot of guys going out. You have Louis Fischer there going out, Tony Yankees, who was quite good last year. But yeah, nothing really too much on the transfers department, so I don't know really where they're going to get this momentum from for this year, Jace.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Adrian Strauss there. I feel that he was a huge part of the Cheetahs lineup in the past couple of years, so I think he'll add a lot to an already superb forward pack. You got the likes of Dean Grayling, Victor Matfield, as you said before, Van der Merwe, Per Spies. So is this forward pack good enough to compete with other forward packs in the tournament, such as the Crusaders or the Waratahs?
Oh, definitely, Jace. They got a class forward pack this year, so they should be playing better than they are. Another thing I would like to mention is moving on to that back line is I feel that the backline has really been underperforming in the late years. I mean, they haven't really had guys like Brian Habana there to score all those tries out wide, so you really think that the backline has to step up. But all in all, I think the front row is definitely capable, Jace.
Yeah, well, in terms of the back line, you got guys like Andre Pollard, JJ Engelbrecht, and Jan Serfontein, all of whom are a lot more experienced now. Got a lot of time in the Springbok jersey last year, so will that help them?
Well, definitely, but I really do think with Andre coming in to the side there, do you think maybe that's all come a bit too fast and they really haven't built on that chemistry as much in that backline there, Jace?
Well, you see, I'm not sure because in recent years they've had Mornay Steyn, who's just controlled the backline so well, and I feel that Andre Pollard is also someone that can do that. They're talking about him as being the next standard first 5'8" for the Springboks, and I feel that he can control a good backline that a lot of whom have actually already have played under him in the Springboks. Of course, you got mentioned there JJ Engelbrecht, Jan Serfontein, and also Bjorn Basson and Akona Ndingani, who had a superb season last year. So what I really want to know is, obviously they've got the forward pack, they've got the back line. Will they be able to work in will they have good chemistry this year? Will they be able to merge together and create a good team, PK?
Well, definitely, Jace. I mean, with the likes of also mentioning there, Per Spies coming back into the side, he'll really bolster that side. But you also think Victor Matfield, also a big key player for me, taking most of the lineouts last year. He was really good there. And another guy at the fly, we had Jacques-Louis Portgetter, another guy I wanted to mention, who was quite outstanding last year. I thought he stood up until Hondre then come back and took that spot, but Jack Louis Portgetter would be another one for me to look out for, Jace.
Yeah, well, that's right. They've got a bit of depth going on, the Bulls here. My prediction for the Bulls this year, they got a really good back line. They got a strong forward pack. I think they will go well. I'm talking semi-finals. What do you think, PK?
Well, they're starting it off. They got 3 games at home, so that should be quite good for them. Get them off to a good start. Hopefully, we know how good the Bulls are at home. They're always renowned for winning their home games. But for me, Jace, I think top 6.
Top 6, righto. So final thoughts on the Bulls?
Yep, good side. Just I don't know if they can, as you mentioned before, they can blend in and really get that chemistry going. But like I said, top 6.
Cool, righto. Moving on to the Brumbies now. This is a team, as I said, with the Bulls, they've got a very good history. They've been very good in recent years. They came 4th in 2014 in terms of their history. They were champions in 2004, 2001, runners-up in 2013, 2002, 1997, 2000, and playoffs in 2003 and 2014. So, a marvellous side with a great pedigree. Will that help them, PK?
Oh, definitely. They've got the form to back it up as well. I mean, semi-finalists last year, and I think they're going to do it again this year. You have a few guys coming into the squad this year. Nigel R. Wong, he's coming over from Japan in the centres there. Yeah, you also have Sean Doyle coming from Ulster, so those 2 guys should go quite well. I'd also like to mention the return of David Pocock will really benefit this side this year, Jace.
Yeah, I agree. Pocock is he's already shown that he can be a dynamic player. He hasn't really had a lot of game time in the past couple of years due to injury, but if he's still got it, then he's absolutely going to be a huge boost for the Bulls. Now, for the Brumbies, sorry. Now, an interesting point. Their coach Stephen Larkham, of course, played 102 caps for Australia. Extremely experienced, but can he do the same with his coaching role, PK?
Oh, definitely. You know, Larko, he's a class coach there. He should go really well. And he's definitely got the guys to get him to that final, hopefully, Jace.
Yeah, well, that's right. Talk about the squad. You got Ben Alexander, Scott Seo, Stephen Moore, Sam Carter, Scott Fardy, David Pocock in their forward pack. So a really good, powerful forward pack. Most of whom have played in the Wallabies. And I believe that they've also got a backline to boot. They've got Matt Tamua, Tavita Kurandrani, Kristen Liliafano, Joe Tamani, and Jesse Mogg. So they're not lacking in talent. If they don't make, there are no excuses to not make the playoffs, I feel, with the Brumbies. Do you feel the same way, PK?
Yeah, starting off with the forward pack there, Jace. How big is their engine room? You got Scott Seo, Ben Alexander, and Stephen Moore, all class. And how well do you think Stephen Moore's going to go this year?
Well, obviously he's very experienced. I have a feeling he'll go very well. PK as usual. He's already shown his class in the Wallabies, and I believe he'll continue to in the Brumbies. PK.
Yeah, moving on to the locks department there, you've got Scott Fardy there. How good was he? And also Leon Power and Tom Staniforth both adding to that. So they shouldn't be lacking in the line-out, so they should go quite well there. In the flanks, you've got David Pocock, Jordan Smiler, Sean Doyle, and Fortu Aulua. So definitely not lacking in that forward pack.
No, that's right. And also a part where they're not lacking in is goal kicking. Matt Tamua and Kristen Liliafano have both shown that they are class goal kickers. A couple of years ago during the Lions tour, Kristen Liliafano was kicking it near 100% for Australia. So I think he will be an absolute key player. And also in their centres, Tavita Kurandrani, as I mentioned before. How good was he last year?
Oh, how dangerous is the Brumbies backline looking, Jace? Also, a guy we forgot to mention, Henry Spate. He is massive. He is an absolute beast. Also backing that up, Joe Tamani and Jesse Mogg. Unbeatable for me, Jace.
Absolutely. I predict that they will make the semis, possibly the finals, and go on to win it. What do you think?
Definitely, Jace. Agree with you on that one.
Cool. Final thoughts on the Brumbies?
Yep, Brumbies top four. They'll look to go well. They've got the talent, good forward pack, good back line. So there's no reason why they can't go big.
Righto, moving on to the Chiefs. For me, they've got an extremely strong back line. Unlucky, came fifth in 2014. However, they were champs in 2013, 2012, runners-up in 2009, and they made the playoffs in 2004 and 2014. How are the Chiefs looking this season, PK?
Yeah, Chiefs a bit unlucky, I should say, last year. Not really getting going there and not going too well. I definitely think they can make the final this year. They've got the big boost of Sonny Bill in this year, and my all-time favourite Super Rugby player, Jose Gear. It'd be so good to see him back on his home turf and hopefully making a few tackle busts for the Chiefs, and I definitely think they're going to be in the finals this year, Jase.
Yeah, well, that's right. You talk about Jose Gear. He's already stated his intentions that he wants to make it into the World Cup squad for the All Blacks. So he'll be looking to make a big impact. You talk about their back line. They've got the likes of Aaron Cruden, Charlie Ngatai, of course, had a good season for New Zealand Maori last year. Sonny Bill Williams, of course, and Tom Marshall, I think, is a really key player. He had a good season for Tasman in the ITM Cup last year. And I think he's a bit of a utility as well. He plays a bit of fly half, bit on the wing, can play a bit of 7-5-8 and fullback. So I think their backline is looking good. And so is their forward pack. Got the likes of McIntosh, Ben Afiaki, Quinton McDonald, and who I think is a key player. He's got the style very similar to Corey Flynn. And Brodie Retallick, how good was he last year?
Yeah, Brodie was class last year, obviously making Player of the Year in World Rugby, and for the Chiefs he was quite outstanding. It's questionable whether he is going to get game time this year. I think they might rest him, but it would be good if he can get a couple of minutes out there, Jase.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, PK. Obviously, it is World Cup year. A lot of these big players will be rested for a couple matches. But I don't know. I like the Chiefs this year. I think that they'll do a lot better this year. I think they've been a bit unlucky, and also a lot of their teams got a bit more experience, such as the likes of Sam Cane, Augustine Pulu. Will that make a huge difference, PK?
Oh yeah, definitely. Sam Cane is class. He'll be backing up Liam Messam there, and as you mentioned, Augustine Pulu, who will be backing up. Who will he be backing up? I'm stuck on my halfback.
I think he's the main halfback.
Yeah, he is actually. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. Augustine Pulu's obviously he's quick. He's unlucky to get he didn't get too many tests last year. Did he only get one or something? He played against the USA. But any big news on transfers affecting the Chiefs this year?
Well, yeah, big bolsters. We have big Hicker Elliott and Ben Afiaki up there in the engine room, so they'll be up there driving the scrums. Also, big centre Taumani Valu, the big Fijian. He'll be looking to impress this year, obviously winning NPC's best player, so he'll be one to watch for me, Jase.
Yeah, well, that's right. And in terms of predictions for the Chiefs this year, I think they'll have a big season. I don't know if they've got the squad to match the Hurricanes or the Crusaders. I think they should make the playoffs, but I think it will be a very competitive New Zealand conference this year. PK, what are your thoughts on the predictions?
Yeah, well, definitely. I think they will make the finals this year, as I've been saying all along. But going back to where I made my mistake, Tawera Kurbalo was the guy that I was thinking of. Him and Augustine Pulu, I think, will have a good rotation this year, and we'll perhaps see a bit of both of them this year.
Yeah, with Kurbalo, I think he's expected to miss most of the season because of the awful injuries he suffered in South Africa. So I don't know if he's going to get a lot of game time. I think this will be good for Augustine Pulu, maybe show a bit of his class ahead of the World Cup. So final thoughts on the Chiefs. What do you think?
Yep, lots of tries from the Chiefs. James Lowe, he'll go quite well, hopefully, if he gets game time. Jose Gear, lots of tries there, lots of tackle busts, line breaks. My all-time favourite player, Jose Gear, hands down. He's going to really bolster that back line. Sonny Bill, he's going to be great. He'll be offloading the ball left, right, and centre and getting it out to those wingers. So I'm expecting lots of tries from the Chiefs this year, Jase.
Cool, that's your prediction. Awesome. This has been Super Rugby Talk. I've been Jase. He's been PK. Tune in next time. Thank you.